Hi guys, I'm back. My hair finally got dry and I toned down my eyeshadow a little bit, but well, there seems to be a little line there, but I did tone it down from the last live. It was something, y'all. But anyway, we are back. I wanted to welcome everybody. And if you didn't get to watch our last live, it was just not even a couple hours ago, I think that we ended it. Um, Go back and watch that one later. It's just going to kind of explain some things that you might notice about the channel coming up a little bit. We are doing a little bit of a rebranding, not because of any of the drama that has happened. This has been in the works for a while, but yeah, we're just talking about a little bit of rebranding. We're still going to do lots of sweet tea. Sweet tea. What I was going to say was people were looking for you earlier, so I'm glad to see you. I think they were a little bit concerned about where you were at, so I'm glad to see you. But anyway, we're gonna still do the Scientology stuff and a lot of other things that we've always done, but I'm also gonna add a few other, like, things into it. So we do talk about that a little bit in the live that's right before this one, that is actually called Rethink, Revise, and Rebrand, which it's not really a rebranding so much as an unbranding. So sorta. I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk about it, or you can watch that video. But anyway, so tonight I am just really, really glad to have my guest on. He is Ben Bacon Bits, and he has a lot to say about a lot of things. And we're just going to kind of, listen and see what he has to say. And I'll chime in a little bit here and there and ask a few things. If you have questions, please mark it as such so it makes it a little bit easier for me to catch. I don't have anybody in the back office. Um, I'm not even sure if my mods are here yet. But, anyway, if you'll do that, that'll be great. I, I'm just excited. I'm glad to be here. I'm happy. I'm in a good mood, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get back to business, y'all. So, anyway, I am gonna bring him out on the screen now if he's ready. Yep. Okay, here we go. Let's get this party started. Hello.
Hello, greetings. Hello. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. There we go. So, how are you doing this fine day?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Yeah.
I'd like to say hi to everybody in the chat.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely. Can you
good
see the
people.
chat from where you're
Yeah,
at?
yeah.
Good.
Good.
Yeah. There's a
uh,
lot of people here already, so
yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Again,
oh,
y'all, if you have questions, mark it so I can see it. I am the noise opera is here. Sweet Tea's here. Fluffy Cloud Tops has got to run to the store, but I'll tune in as soon as she can. So that's good. Jennifer is here. Davy's here. Marilee is here. Pippi Longstocking Forever. Mischief Managed is here. She won't be moderating, but she's got a really bad headache, so she's kind of listening.
mm, mm.
Heat My Shorts is here. I know how she feels about those migraines. They are not fun. Eat More Pizza Now. He's here, and we will be talking to him tomorrow, so that's exciting. Connie, good to see you. Let's see here. Nova, so good to see you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a mod. La Chameleon, good to see you. Boy, lots of
Oh, I
people.
remember
Ben
that
Bacon
name.
been here.
Oh, there's conversations, Christy.
Yeah. Oh, let's see here. Um,
Baby.
I'm afraid I'm gonna miss people, but
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm I'm still trying to get the hang of it's surprising to me how much more stress there is on um, my illustrators are going the wrong direction. How much
yeah,
stress there is on the show host just simply running a stream and
yeah,
being able to read being able to read the chat versus how much easier it is for the host or the guest rather. Being a
yeah,
guest is like, oh, I
yeah,
can do this no problem, but for some
yeah,
reason, even if it's on autopilot and everything, it's
yeah.
just
It's
it's
a
hard.
lot.
Yeah, I can't do that.
You gotta concentrate on what you're trying to say,
Yeah.
what your guest is trying to say, and where you're trying to, take that. And then plus what they're trying to say, and you don't wanna miss first of all, I wanna say hi to everybody, but I also don't wanna
Mm,
miss any questions or
Sure.
anything like that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
difficult. That's why mods are so important. Conversations with
Oh,
Christy, so good to see you. Listen, anybody that has a channel that do content on after the live, now it won't work in the live, but after the
yeah.
live, go on the chat or the comment section, I mean, and just put
Mhm.
something in there that says that you have a channel or, "Hey, go check out my channel," or whatever, and all they have to do is click on your picture, and it will take them straight to your channel, and they can subscribe or watch you or whatever, and I do that. That's how I get new channels that I wanna watch. So, Christy, I
Mhm.
would love to see what you've got going. I think I'm subscribed or maybe not, but I will if not, I will, but it seems like I'm subscribed. Um, seriously, that's how I got a lot of subscribers, and that's how I find channels to go watch that have become my very favorites. Goot's here, good to see him too. Goodness, lots of people. Davy, I'm just trying to get down through here fast so we can get started. John, it's good to see you too. Dee Dee, good to see you. Heat my shorts.
It's like what Good said.
I didn't even see it, I don't think. Hold on. I was moving a little too fast. What did he say? I think I missed it.
Let's see here. Todd is awesome. Mr. Todd is awesome. What a creative and thoughtful, generous gift! Exclamation point. I will I will sing an FTG song and play guitar using a toothpick. They don't want me singing, trust me. I've done it
Oh,
once.
boy.
I'm surprised my chat is even around anymore. They're like, "Ah." Yeah, absolutely atrocious.
Eric, it's good to see you too. Amy, it is good to see you too. So, I am going to try to mark this one if I can get it to show up. There we
Oh,
go.
that's
We're just gonna
nice.
have the yeah, the
Okay. Okay, so
Amy,
use
hi,
that for a
Susie been
place
in
mark.
chat. Yeah, I'm gonna use
Okay.
that for a place mark so I know how
All
far to
right.
go back up. And I mean, that's a nice one to put up, a hi to everybody. So let's get started with you, sir. I'd like
Okay.
to ask the first question I'd like to ask before I
Mhm,
forget, because I actually forget these kind of questions all the time,
mhm.
is where does your name come from? How did you get Ben Bacon Bits?
I truth be told, I actually saw a channel and I shared this with multiple chats. I
Uh-huh.
found a channel called Sausage Lips. I was so incredibly butthurt. The butthurt is still real. I am so incredibly butthurt they would think it's sausage lips, but okay.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I use bacon. I was just looking to take my last name out. Just seemed
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
cool thing to do.
Yeah. I don't
And
blame you.
I messaged so I used Ben Bacon as meat candy. And I emailed, or I messaged, Streets LA once, and he answered, but he didn't wanna read it all off, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
So he said, "And bacon," and he replied, he's like, "Hey, that's got a nice ring to it," and it's like, if you're
Yeah.
gonna go for alliteration, why not go for alliteration in threes? And, so yeah,
Yeah.
Ben Bacon bits, so yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I like it. I knew there had to be probably an interesting, but probably not, like, hugely
Oh, no,
dramatic, you know?
I
'Cause I
I'm
was
a
like, I don't
terrible
know what would be dramatic about it, but I thought, "That's an interesting story." I mean, it truly
oh,
is.
I'm
It's
unfortunately,
funny.
I'm a terribly boring person, truth be told.
Well, mine with the whole "but first coffee" is just because that's my it's a big tagline, a lot of people say it, but I honestly, in my real
Mhm.
life, I would wake up and my husband, he wakes up when his eyes open, he is 100%. He's awake.
Wow.
And I'm always like, "No, but first coffee, but first
Yeah.
coffee." I'm just like, "Don't talk to me, but first coffee." And so it stuck, it really stuck.
Mhm. I
So
know
it worked out good for us.
there's
Yeah.
a heat challenge, I think it's led by a group, but First We Feast or something like or First We
Uh-huh.
Feast, and I thought it was a play on that, but okay, that's a
Yeah. No, that's all it is. That's all it is. Yep. But first coffee is just because I cannot function without at least a couple of cups of coffee in the morning. It's just I'm not functioning. I mean, if I don't have it, I just sit there like, like you'd think I was asleep, but my eyes are open. I don't move, I
mhm,
don't talk, I don't anything. So,
mhm.
okay. So, your name is Ben, and you tell me that you were on the lifeboat from 2023 to 2024, I believe you said.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
if
ma'am.
you want I don't know exactly Yes, sir. Well, thanks a lot.
I'm just
I'm
used to
just kidding.
saying that. It
I
just
know.
comes
No,
out. You
it's
say
fine.
yes, and sir follows. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I do that all the time. But, anyway, if you can just let me like, you lead me. I mean, you said that could talk about the Reese
Okay.
situation, the Brett
Sure.
situation. I'm just
Sure.
gonna let you talk, and I'll ask questions along the way if that's okay. Like, if something that you say makes me think of something, then I'll if that's okay with you,
Okay.
because
Sure.
that way I'm not, like, stopping you in the
Yeah.
middle of something,
Sure.
because I know how that is. When you get on
Yeah.
a roll, you wanna just tell it. So you start and
Sure.
finish where you want.
Okay. Well, for a while, I worked at a behavioral research institute for a while, and I
Mhm.
enjoyed helping people there. But and I'm don't get me wrong, I'm not saying no, I was a lowly, lowly little mod.
Mhm.
But after I left there, I found I wanted to be part of a community, and to still
Mhm.
practice some of the skills I had learned. And because
Yeah,
it's an ongoing thing, you have to keep doing it,
absolutely.
and there's a
Well
lot of places, yeah, that I'm still learning. I mean, I
Mhm.
think I think this probably be like a lifetime, pursuit for me,
Mhm. That's
so,
cool.
yeah, it's something you still want to learn, de-escalation techniques, confusion statements, that's a bad example, but, just being able to interact with people and, work on that. Unfortunately, chat relies upon typing and yeah, yeah, itty bitty keyboard, big, so I make tons of
Yeah.
typos. So it's okay though, because I've ascended to my rightful place as the typo god. I make more typos than probably everybody else in the chat. I can do it in 5 minutes. But it's okay. I don't look upon them with disdain for their inability to typo as good as I do.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, so I joined the boat, and everything went really well for the longest time. Made it quite a good uh, Christy. Um, um, Everything went quite well for the longest time. I really got into it around when Alan Valentine started, or slightly before.
Mhm.
That's just about when the Danny Masterson thing was going on, and also, of course, I came over from Aaron Smith Levin, and
Mhm.
excuse me. Um, yeah, everything was great for a while. It was a good community. Okay. The host. Who wouldn't like that? I mean, because Tommy does have.
Oh, yeah.
He's got charisma, and that's
Yeah.
something else that I was trying to learn too. And yeah, and it can be learned. Some people are born with it, but
Mhm.
like a lot of things, if you're not born with it, you still can pursue it. Um,
Mhm.
and really good talker and everything. And well, okay, life is great. And then um, this whole situation with Reese started. And at first, I must admit, I absolutely loved Reese to death, because it's like
Mhm.
seeing her
Me
come out of
too.
it, the whole story with how she was outed, and seeing those first few lives that she did, all the way down into where she went to the basement. Um, it was really interesting to see her along the way grow and become more confident, and that was like, wow, this is a
Absolutely.
good thing,
Yeah.
because it was something that I had to go on a journey for as well, learning confidence, and
Mhm.
absolutely love that. Um, about I don't know, I might be way wrong on this, but about the time she moved down to the basement, I started watching a little less, and I don't think it wasn't for me. That's fine.
Mhm.
Um, and, every channel's not going to appeal to everybody anyway.
Absolutely. Abs
It doesn't mean you hate the
absolutely.
person, or it's just it's like there's somebody else in my life that absolutely loves Mr. Ballin. I like Mr. Ballin, but I just can't handle that much of him. It's nothing bad against the host or anything. It's just
Yeah.
after a while, you start getting a little paranoid. Don't go out into the woods, or
Mm.
something bad's gonna happen to you. Don't go into your bathroom alone, something bad's gonna happen to you. Don't stay at your house alone.
Yeah,
Don't go outside alone, Yeah, don't do anything
yeah.
alone is basically the moral of the story. Um, but, um, um, yeah, so, Reese started showing up in the chat, and the first couple were, going really well. Um, and then there was one where I don't know how this even started, and I'm gonna try not to use names. There
Yeah,
was one person who was
please don't.
credited or I don't know what you wanna call it, but, was in how do let's see. I think she was supposed to be Tommy's girlfriend or fiancé or something. I still haven't figured that out, but,
Mhm.
what she was factually, I really don't know. I mean, some people say, "Oh, no, that was all a put on." Other people say, "No, that was I don't know. I can't speak to that. But,
Yeah,
there was I think it was the second chat she was in on where there was a disagreement going on between them. I don't know what it was over. I'm only halfway paying attention to that. I'm mainly chatting with people. And
mhm.
it turned into this thing where I think she said, like, "Well, he's my boyfriend." And, "Well, no, I'm here now." It's like it really got nasty just on the flip of a switch. It's like, whoa. And all of a
Yeah,
sudden, this person's ejected from the chat, and it's like, never to be seen again. I
yeah.
think that was the person
Mm.
behind Tommy, there's a Star Trek shirt, and he would
Mhm.
constantly say, "This person has to come here to get it." "I bought this
Yeah.
for her," but, okay, whatever.
Guess that never
Um,
happened.
yeah, but, and it's like, okay, well, whatever. Um, Continued on, it was for, like, months and months, that was just one little data point. Yeah, continued on, and seemingly, no problem. There were several things that were mentioned. Tommy explained that he was a victim of, I shouldn't say the victim, that there was a sexual, what do you want to call it? That it was basically a statutory thing going on,
Yeah,
or that had gone on. Okay,
yeah,
hey, he's being
yeah.
upfront about it, and I realized too that Um, we we often minimize things, and that's to be expected over something embarrassing. So, okay, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And did searches, and it's like, yeah, there's nothing here. And I was one of his biggest defenders. I actually
Mhm.
went after. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was knife hoarder. I went after one of them at one point. And Tommy said, don't do that, don't do that." And I started going after him a little bit. Um, In fact, I think it's the only channel reported. Um, of course, nothing happened, but, fast forward months, and
Mhm.
there's a one point where Reese had been coming in more and more, it was becoming more and more overtly sexual. That's not good in a
Yeah. No.
real recovery community because you're gonna I mean, it was a mishmash of people. They weren't all drug addicts. There were, some people had and fortunately,
Well,
at
there could
least
be sex
yeah.
addiction, you
Yeah,
know?
and there was some of that. I'm aware of that
Yeah,
now. And, it's nothing you want to necessarily advertise to a group of guys, and there are a
yeah,
lot of males there. So I understand them keeping that, off the table, and no problem there. Um, I'm all for it actually.
yeah.
And, it's like, yeah, this isn't, come on, how many times you have to say cooter? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Um, I got so sick of hearing that word.
me too.
I still think Cooter from Roscoe P. Coltrane and,
Mhm.
uh, Dukes of Hazzard, that was it, the
Yeah,
guys with the charger.
yeah, me too.
Um, um, but, yeah, there was this one instance came up where somebody said, Reese no, this host, it wasn't Tommy, it was Spank, said, "Reese the polarizing figure." Okay. Well, one of my friends says, "I just wish she wouldn't talk about sex so much." Okay.
Yeah,
That's not a dig. She just, just said, "Okay."
yeah.
And then another friend said, "I'm not." Yeah, the chat came up. Somebody mentioned in the chat, all women are jealous, or maybe just been women. But if you leave any qualifier out that applies to all. Women are
Yeah.
jealous of Reese because she's close to Tommy. And another one of my
Mm.
friends is like, "What?" Like, no, I'm not jealous. Spanx, call me afterwards, and I'll, you know. She didn't even explode in the chat or
Yeah.
anything. There was no,
Mhm.
oh my god. Well,
Yeah.
okay. And I was only halfway paying attention. I was busy working. And lo and behold, I get this strange rambling email. I expected better of you, bro. You should have been controlling the chat. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what?
Yeah.
And I made some comment about I was talking to somebody else, like how women pick up body language better than men do. And
Yeah.
that's just a fact. They are naturally better at it.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what you do with, I mean, that's women get a gut feeling inside that something's not right. Men, that's
Mhm.
pretty much taught out of them. Um, so women kind of start off, learning body language. Women actually start off with a pretty good advantage over men generally.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
I
And
agree.
he said, "Yeah, I saw what you said that something. Well, I can't remember what it was, and unfortunately, I wish I held it. But when I blocked the light boat, I accidentally hit the default button, which says remove all chat, so I don't
Yeah.
have it anymore. So I got this long rambling thing, and it's like, well, I'm sorry about that. And I said something like, I'm not really interested in. I don't know. Somehow the issue of monetizing my channel came up. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. This is my channel is kind of a hobby that started up, and I was mainly interested in exploring composure and
Yeah.
confidence, and is a unfamiliar medium to me at that time. It's like, okay, and I'd like to explore some
Mhm.
psychology, some just weird stuff that I found helps me, stuff other people found help them. Yeah, so that's
Mhm.
what I was mainly doing. And then it just kept going on and on. I don't think I ever really got through them because like 3 or 4 more. Okay. Well, then when my friend calls me, made the comment about not being jealous, and she was heartbroken. Oh, I got this
Mm.
really long. I don't know. I don't think she said he was yelling at her. Well, I think he was very loud with her, and just kept going on and on about. I don't know if he called her a hater or something like that, but to her, Brett was a personal friend. They had each other's phone numbers, and I never gave them mine, which I'm actually thankful for now. Um, and then my other friend, I can't remember what happened to her. I think she was ejected or something for a while and came back. But yeah, that was the first thing. And the one who made the comment about not being jealous, she's like, "I'm not going back. No, that's it."
Yeah.
And for me, I found myself still okay.
Yeah.
Um, how do I do this? And
Mhm.
um, but we started digging, and it's amazing what a truth finder report will find. Someone's like, "Well, this is interesting," and we started finding a few cases like, "Oh, this is entirely different than what was told to us."
Yeah.
And um, yeah, it from there were a couple other instances. I mean, the thing of where I hate you,
Yeah.
that's a real, and I think what
Yeah,
probably
it's
what
hard to come back
happened.
from.
Yeah, and of course, then the whole thing with, well, Alan hadn't gone public yet. In fact, we tried contacting Alan at that point. He's like, "No, just leave me alone." And you know what?
Yeah.
I think everybody has that point after they leave a community that they feel such a part of, and
Yeah.
everybody feels like they know, the person the person that they've been a part of. It's tempting to think that we know them on a personal basis, and in
Mhm.
fact,
It
we
is.
don't. And I wound up meeting Tommy once, and at the time, he's got a lot of charisma going on. He does. There's a lot of potential there that could be, used in a
I
positive way.
agree, I really do. I really do
Um,
agree.
yeah, and the thing that struck me was that, but I pass it off at the time. Um, but it was one of these things where, it was kind of like meeting a radio host where,
Yeah.
like, hey, yeah, sit down. So, how you doing? Oh, hold on a second. Well, and we're back. Oh, great. We got Johnny Two Tone on the deck here, and we just
Yeah.
listened to, the Tubes, and it's like this.
Yeah.
It's like okay, you know what? Some people have a different personality. I I'm not skilled enough to do that. I'm just this is the same me. You talk to me on the
Yeah.
street, I'm still going to act the
Me
exact
too.
same way. There's nothing polished about. I don't even try. That's
Me
part of
either.
the thing. That's part of the thing I'm also exploring too. Um, and part of the reason why I wanted to do this whole YouTube experiment.
Mhm.
Um, and that was it. But yeah, we started digging and we found that there was the whole "I hate you," and I think at that point, I'm pretty sure that at that point, what he found out, I think that's after he did the Reese checking up on who Reese was, and I think he had full designs on. Okay, I can get close to her.
Mhm.
And I know I'm not gonna need this anymore, and I think he chucked it away thinking that she had all this money from her dad and that he was set for life. That was it, give it to Spanx and just go. Well, it
Yeah.
didn't quite work out that way, so he had to come back later and, I think that was, I was on Valium or I don't know what it was. And we accepted it. Um There were several other instances, but I think, the last straw was when and I don't remember what it was over, I'd gone inactive at this point. I think it was when, he kicked my co-host out again. Apparently she had gone back and, I'm not judging her for that. I wanna point this out that
Oh, yeah, no,
especially yeah, especially with women of a narcissist relationship, on average, they'll go back 7 times. Or or
Mhm.
or, that's not unheard of, I guess.
Well, we think we can fix things,
Yeah,
you know, we think we can
yeah,
fix it. Even if it's
and
somebody that we only know
yeah,
parasocially or whatever, we think we can fix it. If we're
yeah, and
just
at
there and strong enough for 'em, you know?
yeah, and at this point, we already had the bank robbery, documentation. I'm trying to remember if we found I don't think we found the SA stuff. We found who owned the house. We found, we basically found out who owned the car, and there were several other little things. But what this started to do is it started to point out a pattern. Like, if you're going to lie
Mhm.
about small inconsequential things, and
Yeah.
you're going to lie, and we had some big rocks as well that were being weren't entirely truthful. So
Well, I
yeah,
remember
yeah, that was
whenever he said that I remember when he said he bought that house and everything, and I thought, "How did you have the money to buy that house or the credit or whatever when you
yeah.
just came out of prison?" I mean, you
Well, yeah,
don't
and
see that happening, you know?
And at
Just
the time, I always attribute it to, a lot of bank robbers, they still get away with a lot of money,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's what I wondered.
yeah, and that's kind of what I thought. Um, um, but sorry, I just had a ding that kind of threw me off. But
Yeah.
yeah, the bank robbery, the thing that caught me was like, oh yeah, multiple bank robberies. Well, no, mm, that's that's one, one bank robbery and the details of it, "Oh, yeah, I walked in, I just asked the gal for money." Wow, that takes a lot of confidence. I mean, illegal is all hell, but takes a lot of confidence, so I was kind of in awe of that. No, uh, sat in the car, his friend went in with a note that Tommy wrote saying, "I'm gonna blow this building up," or that's not the exact text, but
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I
keep the
understand.
word out of it. Um and what's funny is they drove off, and then he's at some point, according to the court documentation, at some point, he told his friend, you know, "Dude, the community knows about this. They're gonna turn you in. Give me $1,000 and I'll buy them some some H word." No, I could probably say it,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
I'm trying to
No,
keep you
it's fine.
monetized.
No, it's fine.
Um,
If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not worried about it.
but, so
Mm.
yeah, he'd taken $1,000 from this guy, and there was another instance where he said, "Oh yeah, dude, man, you got to get out of town. Give me $1,000 and I'll load up a credit card for you." And he admitted he never. both times he didn't do that. He kept the money for himself. And then in the
Mhm.
police interview, he said that he was getting ready to turn his friend in for the reward
Mhm.
money. And it's like, okay, this is completely different. And
Yeah.
there's some other cases that we can go into, but y- long story short, which I know is already too long.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine, really.
um, After he ejected my friend again, it's like I'm just sick of this. I'm
Mhm.
inactive, but I still thought, what are my monthly membership fees? And I would go in a little bit and kind of banter with one of the people in the chat who's also anti-disco, which, hey, if you like disco, I'm sorry, but
I
you're going out.
remember that. I remember that.
No, I'm joking.
I do.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's kind of a fun thing to joke about. So I'd give it a
Yeah.
super chat, thinking, okay,
I hey,
money.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, and it's like my
I
money's
was
going
more
for.
of a lurker.
Oh, so you were in the bub for a while, huh?
Yeah, yeah. About the same amount you were probably, but I was
Okay,
more of a lurker.
okay,
I didn't have any kind of an addiction. I just enjoyed the chat. I didn't even care
yeah,
about him. I enjoyed the chat. So
yeah.
I was always watching some of that.
And then a little bit later, I'm still going in to support the morning show. And it's like, okay, I can just separate. They're two different people. I can separate one from the other. And
Mhm.
yeah, there was an instance where so many people got kicked out just for asking, how do we know, how do we know what channels we can't go to? Or, because somebody got kicked. Oh, it was for my co-host made a positive comment on a music video regarding somebody else who was in the community. Really? I mean, she has no control over that. And she's saying this person, she's not saying anything bad about anybody. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, it was just amazing to me that all these people were getting ejected out just for saying, well, how do we know what channel we can't go to? And that was really I hadn't been in for a long time. That was really kind of the final straw for me.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, this place. I mean, yeah, there were so many good people in there, and there's still. I mean, there's still some
Oh,
good people
yeah.
there. I mean, nobody
Absolutely.
wakes up and says, I'm gonna join a cult. And I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that term because you know,
Yeah.
if you squash independent thought, if you squash um, being able to, if you control, I saw you comment. Who does that? Who
Yeah.
cares? Like, you can't be in my
Yeah.
thing. I saw you. First of all, if you
Mhm.
hate these people so much, oh, they're the haters. What are you doing even going over there looking? What do you
Yeah.
care if they're commenting? It's like, what? This is supposed to be a recovery channel. And of course, since then, it's
Mhm.
become, well, it's not recovery, it's harm reduction. Well, okay, so instead of doing a bunch of H, you're now doing a bunch of, yeah, that's harm
Yeah.
reduction. That's real good on somebody who's got a brain injury.
Yeah.
That's one of the best ways to stop any neural growth. You know, yeah, it's just bad. It's just
But
absolutely
it's like, "But
horrible
does
thing.
he though? But does he
Yeah,
really though?"
yeah. I
We're not
really
even
can't.
sure at this point. People are looking into stuff that he may not have even ever been a skier.
Yeah, it
We
wouldn't.
don't know. There's just, like, so much. It just never ends. And I
Yeah,
don't know that, so I'm not meaning to be like, he wasn't even a skier." But we've
no,
got significant amounts of people that are saying this was not true, so
yeah. And somewhere in
weird.
there, I don't remember when it was. I lose track. I made First of all, I use AI. This is not a secret. I use AI to make music, and throughout the whole I thought this is a great way to get around the whole, you're not able to use music, and it's incredibly hard to get permission to use commercial music, which I have looked into a couple
Mhm,
times. Fine. I'm gonna play around with AI. Um,
mhm.
and I can mention it in this context. Misha is a AI goddess, and she got me on the AI, and that has nothing to do with about either positive or negative.
Yeah. No, I
But yeah,
understand
yeah,
totally.
yeah. She showed me how to use it, and I got this weird email at one point. It was a threat, but it was so. It took me forever to figure out what it even meant. It's like, I know where you live. Um, I know you're. What was it? Why? don't you think I like you or something like that. And it's like, what the heck is this? And I didn't even know the channel. Finally, I figured out it's why you think we don't like you. And then I figured out, okay, oh, that's where that video was that this gal commented on about, this one person. And you know, what the heck is this? Why am I getting a threat over this? So at that point, I was still in. I commented on the boat and I said, who is who's thinking? And later, it's like I saw the video. And it's like, oh, this is against Reese. And so it's like, okay, somebody in Reese's community that's dropping this threat on me. And so
Yeah.
I thought, well, maybe it's Tommy. So I went ahead and I commented at one point. I made a comment like, I am not. Why do you think we don't like you? And I can tell Tommy had absolutely no idea what I was talking because he pulled it up and big admits and he pulled it up and he's like, it's like, no, it was honest shock. So it's like I could tell he didn't
Yeah.
know. So it's like, okay, that means, but I mean, I'm not
That
saying
wasn't
Reese
him.
is responsible, but there's no reason why anybody in the boat would have even said such a thing.
Yeah.
Um, but at that point, I was pretty much firm. I mean, I wasn't always a hater of Reese. In fact,
Yeah.
well, and then the word hate gets thrown around a lot. I just disliked
Yeah.
her, and it's like no, that's no,
Yeah.
no. And I've even super chatted her in the past, but then I had a couple videos I did with Jimena, and we were just she was talking about trauma that happened with her.
Mhm.
And um yeah, I started getting these hateful comments and ghosts going in to delete them. It's like, what the heck is this stuff? I mean, just this,
Yeah.
stuff like, and this happened a couple more times, and I don't remember what comment goes with what video. And I'm not going to mention other names, and I shouldn't ever mention Jimena to begin with. I'm sorry, Jimena. But um, yeah, there was other comments, and there was a sort of not we think you're stupid. Like, okay, wow, opinions vary.
Yeah.
I can take it, but it was against people I had on my channel, and it was stuff like, "Oh, we hope he gets cancer." Who does
Oh,
that?
wow. Yeah.
Who? It's like it was only channels that dealt with. It was only videos that dealt with Reese.
Yeah.
And
That's
it
how
wasn't
mine are
even,
too.
and I wasn't even producing hate against Reese. I was staying out of it. Like, hey, I'm just doing my own thing. This is how I'll have fun. And just simply having somebody on your channel, it's like, we didn't mention her. And,
Tamina
I'm
says, "It's
sorry,
okay, I have received worse."
I'm sorry
And
about
she
that.
and she also says, "The hate I got for that letter, ha ha." So,
Yeah, yeah, and I'm really impressed with Jimena.
I am
She
too.
is she is so incredibly high vibe. I mean, she's done a couple videos, like one for her, like, "This is my escape out." And, yeah, I'll use the word escape because you're
Yeah, I do too.
cognitive dissonance going on there, and we've all had it. Um, so, yeah, and she had one where she had Hockey Town talk about everything that happened to him, which is
Mhm.
just absolutely
It's disgusting.
horrid.
Mhm.
And hearing what happened to Keela and, Gretchen, like, they were
Mhm.
quiet. They were
Yeah,
completely quiet on the whole thing, and they're
yeah.
just getting hammered. And so, what the hell, man? Who cares? And why are you making such a big stink about this? And like, wow.
Mhm.
And then, oh, fine. So the whole thing with Tommy came out. I made a positive comment. Well, I'm glad you're safe. It proves don't hate her or anything else. But okay, fine. Well, then the second video came out, and I shouldn't even said it. I should have just stayed silent. But I made the comment because she's going after oh gosh, Hef and Alan.
Mm.
And, she's talking about how, yeah, when a woman comes to you, you need to, she didn't say you need, but this had to do with my safety. And it's like, this isn't on him. You tried
Mhm.
to, and I made the comment, you tried to destroy these people, learn from it.
Mhm.
And, it's like, I should never
Yeah.
have said that. But what I was trying to get to for other people in the chat. I never thought she'd pull it up. What I was trying
Yeah.
to get to was just the whole thing of don't don't expect support from people who you've tried to
Yeah.
screw over. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, going on and on about all the stuff with, this picture and all that. That's pretty and fat shaming. You talk about fat shaming.
Yeah.
um, come on. You're better
Yeah.
than that. But yeah, after that, and she flashed my comment, oh, he's always been a hater.
I saw that. I was there
I
that day.
have I have never even made I have never I made a
Or I
show
was
about
there for that time. I don't know if I stayed. I think I left right after that, but I saw you
yeah,
say, "I have never said any," you said something about, "I've never said anything," like,
yeah, and
I don't
it's like that just and normally I would just say, "Fine, whatever." But, at the
Yeah.
time, it just took me so off, like, "What the hell
Yeah.
is this
It would.
about?" And, of course, people I hadn't made any videos at that time for a long time, and, you of course, you go back and you look on now I know how easy it is to check, videos for comments. Um,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
start getting all these hateful it's like, "You like,
Uh,
what?" Um But yeah, one thing that was really odd, and it should have been a warning sign to me. One of my friends said, "Dude, she's talking about you," and he
oh,
had a
yeah.
link to a Reese video, and it's when she was talking about, I don't know. It's she was talking apparently now about knife order, saying, "Oh, he's a product of incest," and
Yeah.
it turns out this friend was just having a ha ha ha, but I what she's talking about? So I time stamped that video and I was like watching it over and over again. I thought this is interesting body language. So I started watching it over and over again. I'm like, okay. No, a little bit later, I get a message, a phone message. I'm sorry, I kept thinking it was a phone call, but no, it was a phone message from one of her mods saying, "Why did you time stamp this video? Or why did you clip this video?" I was like,
Mm,
whoa! I mean, that's just. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was about me. Um, but yeah, still at the time, it's like, this is weird.
Uh,
This is
yeah.
getting creepy. And it's like, I don't want any part of it. But yeah, lately I've just been getting tired of, removing comments and things like that. And,
Mhm.
it's pretty much calmed down, but I imagine it'll start back up. But
Oh,
that's fine.
yeah.
It's fine. I'm a big boy. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I told
yeah,
in my last video I did earlier some of the stuff that I've gotten in the last couple of days, so
yeah,
and I have
I mean,
no doubt of where it comes from. Well, for
yeah.
for for one thing, I recognize some of the names, you know?
Mhm. Well,
So
all mine are sock accounts that are made that day.
well, mine
So,
on my emails they were all
oh,
fake,
yeah,
but they still got
yeah,
turned over.
yeah. The email I got, I don't remember what it was, a Gmail account. Like, really?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, yeah. So it has really been interesting though, reading body language, and I must admit, I've actually been tempted, but I'm trying to stay out of this.
Yeah.
But it's been tempting just because you watch some videos and it's like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
oh,
Mhm.
yes, I'm trying to be friendly, but then, let's see here. I'm trying to be a where is it? I'm trying to be, will not sink down to their hate. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Within 10 minutes, Devil's Rejects, Long Con. Well, that's just accusing them of being, cons. Yeah, you have the whole Paula Dean thing, doxing, hater,
Yeah.
losers, effing clowns, loser,
Yeah.
pussies, fucking nobodies, effing
Yeah.
terrible, and then falsely accusing them, you know, like, no, to the whole party consent thing. No, that is in regard to recording. He didn't record anybody. You sent
Yeah.
him the video. And like, so it's like, I'm just gonna stop.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
need this. Just, I vibe out of it.
You're
But
you're
but
quite the rock star in the chat. Everybody this one's not so much, but I wanted to pop this one up here because I was like, "Thank you." But yeah, she said a while ago that you're kind of a big deal in that, that whole
she's being
community,
awfully
so
kind.
but I
but,
lost it. I was sitting there tapping over it, and all of a sudden
yeah,
it
and
was gone, so
I did see it fly by. I've been trying to read it. Of course, I
yeah.
I illustrate so heavily.
Yeah.
Um, I
Well, the chat
am
really has been moving pretty good,
you
so
know,
there's quite a few people in there, and I
yeah.
was like, "Wait, back up," but I have been seeing the comments. If I miss you guys, it's seriously just because it's been I'm, I don't have anybody starring comments tonight, so
I love it.
okay, so
At one point, I was talking to Mark Bowden. He was on the behavior panel. I was talking to him at one point, and I said, "Dude, man, I'm having problems. I always I use too big of an illustrator. Yeah, the only reason why I'm only getting this one is because the chair,
yeah.
yeah, table here. I illustrate too big." He's like, "So?" Like, I no, you don't get it. I illustrate out of frame. Yeah, I'm so bad
Yeah.
at when I talk. I slap people on the way to when I'm at work. It's like, "Well, warn them." Okay, I thought he'd give me help on how
Yeah.
to, close some of that in, but oh well.
So here's a question. I'm just gonna hit a couple questions if I see them, but keep talking. But anyway, what is your favorite movie?
Mm. Oh man. Mm. Man. Oh, that is
That's
I would
hard.
never expect that one to mm. Uh, I like Big Trouble in Little China. I don't know why. I mean,
Really?
I just like the part, nobody else likes it, but, that's fine, but I just like the part where Kurt Russell, floating eyeball or whatever, and he shoots it with a gun, and they're all, turns around and runs off, and everybody's looking at him. What? You never know till you try. So I
Yeah.
I like that. I'll pick that one.
Here's another good one. So, conversations with Christy. I am a spiritual channel that does tarot readings and
Mm,
healing, and I am not for everyone. Ben is my mod. I
yeah.
will very much love to go over
Yeah, that
there
was
and put
that
your,
was one
just comment in the
yeah,
comments after the deal, and I will. If I'm not already, I will.
names and
So,
categories these people come up are yeah, and I'm trying. I am so sorry for saying your name, Amena, but I've already said it, so it's out there, but,
yeah.
yeah, I've tried to keep everybody's name out of it, but, yeah,
Anyway,
no.
I'm sorry. I completely interrupted you.
No, 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 it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, and then that's the kind of thing that I was exploring on my channel is different ways of thinking. And I've experienced a few that are like, wow, I had a belief system that was pretty tight and closed in.
Yeah.
And I found a few, it's like, what does this mean for my belief system? And it's like, oh my gosh, everything means so much more. And that's the kind of stuff I'd rather explore, stuff like that.
Mhm.
But if you really, I mean, but if somebody really wants to keep this going, fine. We can start getting into statement analysis and body language, and
Mhm.
we can start tearing some videos apart. But I really don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I prefer just to keep things out of it, and
Yeah.
let's go do our thing. You guys do your thing, I'll do mine, and whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it there are really good, and I'm aware of one person, and this one really hurt. This person's still in the boat. They're a good person. They're just trying to help people,
Mhm.
and what this person was essentially told, now I'm probably getting this wrong, but I'm not quoting anything, was that
Yeah. I get it.
everybody out there hates you. And, that's going to serve to take somebody and kinda, and the thing is that, of course we know it's not true, but, and this person's just trying to help other people.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and this person said, "Oh, Ben just completely fragged you in the chat," and like, where the hell is this coming from?
Yeah.
And she, I was able to figure out where it was, and it's like, yeah, I should have expected as much because 'cause they're trying to isolate
Mhm.
their community. Don't go outside.
Mhm.
When somebody tells you don't look at other things,
Yeah. What do you think?
in
You should be thinking
information,
cult.
yeah, that's information control.
Yeah.
And I've seen people bring up, people, apologizing, "Oh, I went to this one video and I did it out of," I was going to comment negatively, but then, they're self-reporting that they've gone to other
Yeah.
channels to these people. It's like,
Which is what they do in Scientology,
Yeah,
they have to
yeah,
rat out themselves and then go on the cans, you know?
yeah,
Which, I mean,
yeah,
it
so
is very culty, you know?
yeah, it is.
They're telling on themselves before somebody else tells on them because 'cause they're afraid it's gonna
Yeah,
be worse, you know?
yeah,
Ugh,
but,
what a mess.
yeah, it's just been it's just amazing how childish a lot of the
Mhm.
stuff is, and, anybody who's been through any sort of military training or law enforcement training, you talk you talk about bull baiting. Oh my gosh, Scientology can't come close. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
you can't. I mean,
yeah,
you know, you're
yeah,
you're
no,
literally getting your ass whooped. No.
yeah.
But luckily, I had my friend who's an OT5, and she said, "No, that's not good bull baiting." If your bull baiting involves, you can see the vein, the anger muscles in the forehead come out. You can see the face turn
Yeah,
change color.
uh,
You're getting ready to pop something there, and that's not good. Um,
yeah,
now anger anger's just an emotion, and
yeah,
so is, just becoming emotional. It causes you, there's a couple times here I've become, severely emotional, very animated, very open,
mhm,
and that's just what it does to humans. But
mm,
yeah, it's
yeah,
just the anger and the hatred, and there are some things to get angry about.
mhm,
Anger fuels people to, pump adrenaline to everything, or cortisol, to give them strength. This should be a call to get up and act. Your value system
mhm,
has been violated. A wrong has been done. That is why we have anger, or to protect, our ancestors, to protect themselves against
mhm.
Wile E. Coyote. Or that's a bad example, but
But yeah, but you know what gets me is that the ones that, like, come after me, because I can only speak for me, you
yeah,
know,
yeah, that's true.
um, I could speak for what I know about others, but I'm not, I'm just gonna speak for me. But the
Hmm.
ones that come from for me that I know they're from Reese, you can tell, one thing, I
Yeah,
recognize some of the names, they all use exactly the same kind of speech, it's like a script. I'm like, "Did she give them a script?" You know? But anyway,
yeah,
they all go after my looks or my age or my Christianity or, that
yeah.
kind of thing, and I'm like, "What did I lie about? You're such a
Yeah,
liar,
yeah,
I can't believe somebody that's your age in your final days on earth would just lie." And I'm like, "What did I lie about?" Radio silence,
yeah, yeah, and
I'm like, "Show me what I lied about." She's welcome to come on here too, but she better come with the truth,
yeah,
because I'm not gonna put up
yeah,
with it.
yeah. To just turn around and, "Oh, you're ugly," or
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Everybody's been through high
But look
school,
at
has been through that.
but but look at, like, with Marilyn whenever she said when Reese said that she looked like a garden gnome.
Yeah,
It's all about cutting us down and our looks and that
yeah,
we're nobodies. Well,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
everybody is somebody, and I don't care if you have a
mm,
20,000 subscriber channel or a
yeah,
300 subscriber channel. You're
yeah,
somebody, and your
yeah,
voice is every bit as important.
and that was the thing, is that somebody leaves your channel, just let them leave. I
Yeah.
mean, and that's what gets me about it. The people who were picked on the most were the ones who were just, "I just wanna leave and just go off."
Mhm.
It's not like these people were.
They weren't saying anything.
Yeah, and really? Um, and that's just and I would have never in a million years expected that that channel would be that way, and the light boat, I
Mhm.
you know what? I don't get anything, although, I and what gets me about it is I've been silent about both of them on YouTube, well, until now. Very
Mhm.
recently, I've actually started commenting just because 'cause I'm finally getting ticked off,
Mhm.
and, yeah, I just hate seeing people get abused like that,
I do
and,
too.
I think I bet you 75% of the population follow me too. where they,
Mhm.
they probably feel the same way. And it's like, this is just
Mhm.
so juvenile.
It
It's like,
is.
let's just move on and just do our own thing and fine. You got your problems. Everybody else, I guarantee you,
Yeah.
I guarantee you, Maryland's got problems. You got problems. I
Oh,
got
yeah.
problems. And
Everybody does.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, I got a
I'm getting a little tired of it. But
yeah, I got a message today after the last live I did. And the woman, I'm not gonna name her, but she was polite, but, also accusing. And she said, "What was it gonna take? Was it gonna take, um, did I want Reese to lose her channel? Did I want Reese to lose her son? Did I want Reese to" um, it always goes down to something like this, but did I want Reese to, unalive herself over the stress of being talked so badly about? And I tried to answer all those questions, and I said, "No, I don't want her to lose her channel. I certainly don't want her to lose her son. I want her to stop manipulating and lying to
yeah,
people. That's what I want." Because
yeah,
I know people that when I was there as an active, what made me start watching in a negative way, to watch to see what the heck was going on,
yeah,
was that I would see people giving her money that were talking to me behind the scenes saying that they live on a,
yeah,
limited income, and that they're really struggling, and that they can't afford all their medicine that month, and, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and yet I would see them, and even if it was $5, $10 here and there adds up, and it honestly meant everything to them and nothing to Reese. I mean,
yeah,
5 or $10 yeah, by the time
yeah,
YouTube takes their percentage, she's not
yeah,
making any, hardly anything off of that. So,
yeah,
I'm like, that's what bothers me. Do I want her to lose her son? No, I don't. I want her to take care of her son and protect her son. Do I want her to
yeah,
unalive herself?
yeah,
Absolutely not. That is
yeah,
absurd. You know, just everything about it, but I'm like, "Who's feeding you this crap?" I
yeah.
have never said anything that I want any of those things to happen.
Well, yeah, and I've heard the same thing from the boat a couple times that, oh, they all want us dead. They all want us dead. And Tommy apparently said it in one of his videos. He's accusing me of
Yeah,
committing murder. Where's I have not heard a
yeah,
single person say he's tried to commit murder. Well,
no.
aside from, Reese
That
turning around saying, "Oh, he's on his way to kill
he's
me."
gonna kill me. That and the video where he and his brother were saying, "Oh, if those cops had been doing their job, we'd be doing
Well,
a
yeah,
40 piece." Well, what do
yeah,
you get 40
that's
piece for?
yeah, yeah. Wow, that
You
one's
know?
but
Yeah, there's a lot, and that's stuff that they're proud of. They laughed and cut up
yeah,
about it. So it's like,
and
okay, people.
that's what gets me is it's I still want to see, actually, believe it or not, I still want to see um I really do wish that Tommy would turn around and I mean I know that's completely foolish. I know
I
not
know,
to
but we can't
expect
help
that.
what we wish for.
And I wish Reese would, you
Me
know,
too.
but um I don't wish I don't wish anybody dead. I don't wish I certainly don't wish cancer on anybody. I
Mm-mm.
don't wish, any kind of physical harm to anybody. But, after a while, believe it or not, people are going to get angry. And,
Mhm.
when you start making all these accusations, stuff like that video, whatever, that happens,
Mhm.
and, you know, are you trying to endear yourself? No.
Mhm.
Just turn around and just trying to amp this up more. And it's like, you know, what are people supposed to do? She expects
Yeah.
to keep challenging everybody and then just goes, okay, okay. And it's like,
I was in Scientology,
yeah,
I'm like, "Get over it." It's like
well, yeah. And I'm really glad I had that my friend who's an OT5 that I talked about earlier because I've been able to talk to her.
yeah.
How does bull baiting work? How does this work? How does that work? And she's been able to explain it to me in a much more because I kept wondering, there's just no way this cult could have survived this long if this is the typical behavior. And she's like, no, no, this is an aberration. Don't worry about it. But and actually, I do want to see Scientology fail. I really do.
I do too.
Just because
I do too.
at the lower levels, yeah, there's some things they get right just because Elron happened to steal the right thing, and I think he
Mhm.
stumbled accidentally upon some
Mhm.
psychological concepts. His use of confusion statements is a primary example. I used to use Aaron's talking about in the L's. He was reading one. What did my finger just do? That's an example of confusion. You get somebody to do that long enough, you're going to start frying their brain. I mean, not literally, but
Mhm. Yeah, I know what
you
you mean.
do that long, you come out like a blithering idiot later. I'm not saying anybody went through it's a blithering idiot, but I'm saying you come
I
out
know.
like them.
Yeah.
Because then it's so much easier for them to your file clerk, which is you know this part of your brain where you handle cognitive thought. It's like it's trying to make sense of that. And while it's down there making sense, like in your back files and stuff, you can slip in little commands, and that's used for good.
Mhm.
It's used by some advanced psychologists for good purpose. You know, just think about what
Mhm.
just think about what would be different if everything changed and nothing else did. You can
Yeah.
relax. And because that statement makes absolute it's just absolute garbage. But then at the end, what will happen is your brain will grab a hold of the first thing that makes sense. You can relax. And I've done that even on checkout clerks and with much more confidence than that. That was just kind of off the cuff. But stuff like that, it works. But it's some of the concepts that uh, bacon teeth or what was I can't remember. It was one thing I actually liked that Tommy said, pork and beans teeth or something like that.
Yeah.
L.
Baked
Ron
beans,
Hubbard.
I think. Baked beans,
Yeah,
yeah.
baked beans, yeah. Um,
Mhm.
it's one of the things that he got, but yeah, what gets me is there's still good people in there, and
Oh, yeah. There
they're
are.
just trying to do the right thing. They just wanna be part of the community. Um, so
Yeah.
I try not to judge them.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
no, not at all. The
no
only
offense.
people that I really have any kind of judgment towards are the ones that come at people, you
Yeah,
know? That's the
yeah,
one that I'm
that
like, "Whoa," that's not good. I don't
yeah,
go
what
after her chat. You know, I don't go to her chat and say anything against
you
her.
know
I don't go to anybody's chat and say something against them. I
no,
mean,
I have no doubt it happens.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I'm not gonna certainly not gonna speak for everybody because everybody's ticked off.
Mhm.
And, but at the same time, when all of it seems to be coming from one place, it's like there's somebody in there. I'm not
Mhm.
saying it's necessarily Reese. I'm not saying that, but it's somebody in
Someone's
her
saying
community.
something. Mhm.
And, like, who made her mod call me? Or I'm sorry, message me on
Yeah.
my phone. It wasn't, you know, like that's just weird.
Yeah.
Um, oh, I'm sorry. No, yeah, I picked it up on my phone, but it was Facebook Messenger. I'm sorry, I
Oh,
forgot that
okay.
part.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that
Here's a
doesn't matter
comment for
much,
you.
but
Davy says you're sizzling hot.
oh, no, what? JB, do me a favor, go to an eye doctor and tell them you need an super advanced prescription. I don't know which way, but yeah, I just tell them I need
Yeah.
help badly. Um,
Mm. Here's another one. Ben is not boring. I agree. I kind of agree
you're
on both. I think he's
yeah,
very attractive and he's not
oh,
boring.
come on. But
It's
I
embarrassing.
appreciate
How
it.
about that? I
I
think he's
appreciate it.
blushing. You think
That
he's
is
blushing?
yes, I am. Yeah, I am extremely. But and that is one thing that, Dr. Phil, love him, hate him, whatever. You can take what
Yeah.
works and leave the rest. One of the things that he said, he came up with a really good teaching on how to accept a compliment, and it's so hard for some of us. Just thank
Yeah.
you. So kind of you to notice.
Yeah.
And just because,
Yeah.
yeah, when we do that, it's like, "I'm gonna offer you a compliment." "Oh, no, no, stop, oh, stop." You're kind of devaluing the person. It's nothing intentional, and I know we all do it to some extent.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like,
Marilee
what a
says that
lovely
she almost sent her son-in-law to the lifeboat, and she's really glad she didn't.
mm. Well, truth be
I am
told, it's also
too. I mean, I think there's good people there, but I
Mhm.
wouldn't want anybody getting
Turn the fan on. Truth be told, I'm also sizzling hot temperature-wise. It is freaking there. That's
uh,
yeah, there we go. Turn the fan on.
here's another one. I'm going down through here a little bit. Conversations with Christy. I didn't hate her, but I didn't like her. I got accused of something really crappy having to do with her, which is where I drew the line and left.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yep.
that was the thing. Nobody hated her. As far as I'm aware,
I
nobody
don't hate her
hated
now.
her.
I don't hate her
Nope.
now, and I mean, people call me a hater, say I hate her. I don't. And if they watched my video where I was talking about her and I'm crying my eyes out because I'm having to I'm having to draw a line and say, "This isn't okay."
Yeah.
It's somebody I love, but it's not okay. And, but I'm still a hater, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty soon that sun's gonna be low enough all of a sudden to look like I'm burning in an oven. Um, let's
Dee Dee
see here.
says that we like what we like. I'm grateful I found Susie and Sam, even if it was through those appalling people.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
this is on the upside. One thing, um, we've all been through, call it what you will, con, whatever.
Mhm.
But I bet most people in here will be more resistant to that in the future.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's still not fun. No.
Yeah.
And it's still something, even if you didn't put money into, you
Yeah.
don't have to. It's something you put your heart into.
Yeah.
It's somebody you believed in so much
Mhm.
that when you leave, you still have um to grieve that, because even though
Yeah.
it's a completely false perception, it's a perception that you had.
Well, that's it, is I felt like I lost somebody and that person doesn't exist, but that
Yeah,
doesn't mean that I don't miss that person because
yeah.
I thought that person existed. So, I wanted to answer this one really quickly, Jennifer. I don't know why the email wasn't going through, hun, but yes, anybody can send me something on Facebook Messenger if you want to. Please don't
Mm.
threaten my life, but but yeah, other than that, sure. It's under Susie Thurman Oberholtz if you need to know that. That's my
Your
Facebook
name,
Messenger.
I pity you going through school. Oberholz.
Thurman?
It's like,
Well, I
yeah.
didn't get Oberholtz till I got married, but yeah.
Oh my gosh. I had a friend who
But
was
my
a
poor
Slav.
husband.
I had a friend who was a Slav. His name was Studahar. All you
Oh,
look is,
man.
in the phone book is ST, and then just a bunch of letters that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really do sympathize with you going through high school. I mean, whew.
Well, if you look at my husband's signature, it looks like
Oh, that's right.
his name is Mark Oberholtz, and it looks like it's Mac Oz. He just Mac
Yeah.
Oz. The rest of it is
Yeah,
just, like, scribbled.
yeah,
I mean, he has a specific way it's scribbled, but, there's a
yeah,
specific way, but
yeah,
that's what it looks like.
yeah, and that's why I started picking up that from movie stars. I think it was one of the end of one of the Star Treks. They were signing all their names. And it's like, bleh, like, that's what I need to do. I was like, I'm getting tired
Yeah,
of, like, bleh. Well, that's my signature.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Wow.
really, yeah, Jimenez community is really, like I said, she's addressed this a couple times, and now she's just, let's work
Yeah,
on healing. Let's work on, you know,
absolutely.
high vibe. Christie's high vibe, and because you can only, and I encourage, and it requires a lot of energy to
Mhm.
stay in that. It's kind of, so yeah, sometimes you do need to, even if you're specialized in this, it's like, yeah, sometimes you just do need to go out for self-care, and like, I just want to laugh. I just want to, you know,
Mhm.
but yeah,
Mhm.
healing is, and the thing is, what I find most deplorable is, with the lifeboat, is you're talking about people who are the most vulnerable,
Oh,
people who
yes.
are
That's
under
what got me.
addictions from things. And it's like, oh,
Mm.
that's the biggest
Yeah.
shame. But yeah, I still, I still, Tommy would be very good at acting. He's incredibly hard to read as
Yeah.
far
Well, he
as
did a little bit of acting.
yeah, as far as lying, he's very hard. He's very comfortable with it.
Mhm.
It's amazing. No, the person who has the radio voice is John. Yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
We're gonna talk to him tomorrow. Mm.
yeah,
Yeah. We're
yeah,
gonna
yeah. They're both different types of things.
Yeah.
One's just they're both a little bullyish. One's just much worse when it
Mhm.
comes to acting like a
Yeah.
bully. But um, and do
They
I
have their
think that
ways of doing it. They have different
yeah,
ways of bullying. So
one's more overt.
Mhm.
One does it more to its members. Um, yeah, it's I hate to sound
Mhm.
like, what was that guy's name? Can't we all just get along? Um,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm picking up a southern
I can't
accent
take
now.
either. No.
I do that.
Hang around with me and you'll be talking real Southern.
I check
You ought to
myself
hear
in.
me when I get back from, when I go to Savannah and I'm around, like,
Yeah,
Paula and all them. Oh, Lord, you can't hardly understand me, and I pick up all these, just things that she says, just like
yeah,
little and it's not like like what the, comedians do, like, "Fat as a tick on a dog," or something. It's not like that. It's just
yeah,
like little things. I mean, she does say some of that stuff, but it's fun. And if I'm around
yeah.
my English speaking friends, from England, then I start talking like them.
Yeah,
I'm really
that
bad at picking up accents.
that is the bad one for me because I cannot fake an English accent. I check myself in for,
I can't fake it.
yeah, and I
I
check
can't I
myself
can't
in
fake
for
it.
at one point, I checked myself into a recovery center for depression and for, codependency because I was getting too much value off of codependency is basically where you get too much of your esteem based upon what other people think, and
Mhm.
it's completely you can overcome it. It's not something that, "Oh my god,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
always gonna be this way." No, no, you can work on yourself and but yeah, while I
Oh,
was
yeah.
in there, my best friend was a writer from, England, and the guy I was in roommates with for that month, he was a race car driver in Britain. I started picking up an English accent, which bl I can't fake it.
Mhm.
I try
I
and
can't fake it.
I sound like a bloomin' imbecile when I try it.
I
It's
do too.
like,
Because
I'm not even gonna try it.
I wanted one of my parodies that I do. I wanted the character to be English. Because I mean, I think that's cool. I thought it would have been a cool way to go about it. It wouldn't have
Yeah,
been anybody in the community. I wanted completely different. I sounded like a fool. That's why I made my, immature Emma's accent so incredibly
mhm,
southern, which I
yeah,
wanted it more southern
yeah,
than me to make
yeah,
it funny because I
but
couldn't do her
yeah,
accent. So I thought, well, I'll
yeah,
just go over the top with this other way.
yeah, yeah, and that's, wow. It's like when you I don't know if you ever flush a toilet inside of an airplane, with a big,
Yeah.
man, it's like flushing a toilet sometimes. I just it's like I lose thoughts down that damn thing. Like,
Yeah, I do too.
whoa. Uh,
Oh, goodness.
but yeah, there was somebody who I know that is English, and they
Mhm.
oh my gosh, they're a wordsmith when it comes to cussing. They can they can weave. I mean, I thought I was talented, but they can weave a fine quilt of profanity. And when they cuss with an English accent, when you're hearing it, it's like, wow, this sound. When an American does it, we just sound
Yeah.
like, oh, you're an idiot. But when
Yeah.
somebody from England does, it's like, wow, that is so inspired. Like,
It's
oh my
almost
gosh, this is
musical.
it's almost like God given. I mean, the amount of intelligence this person has. Like,
I
damn
know.
it, I want that accent.
Mhm. Eat more pizza now. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is so nice. Unfortunately, there are portions of the community that turn in the middle school. Yeah, in the middle
Yeah,
school mentality. Yeah,
yeah, she's also
true.
poetic with her cursing. Sure.
uh,
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, come on, there she is. I have this clip, I have to play it every time I see her.
Awake Ned by the looking glass reflection in the house. Hey, Awake Ned, nice to see you.
Oh, that was Tara. It was she's
Yeah.
Tara's such a beautiful person. She is somebody who we knew, and she was part of the boat for a while, and a lot of us were on her
Yeah.
channel. She is somebody who, was homeless for, like, 5 years, incredibly intelligent. You know, she's
Mm.
gone through the addiction thing, just truly a beautiful soul. But yeah, she kept pronouncing it Awakened, and, every time I see Awakened, I have to play that clip because she deserves it. That's what you get for being
That's
so smart,
funny.
Awakened.
Yeah.
But yeah, and, Awakened's
Uh,
really, really talented with, AI music, and if that's something you're trying to overcome, and she keeps
mhm.
feeding me all these, "Oh, Ben, try this, try this, try it." "Okay." And I forget it, and it's like, oh, I have to go back to her and, "How do you do this?" Like, "Again?" But she doesn't say that. She
Mhm.
let's
Yeah.
humor him, and yeah.
Well, I was, Mischief managed is my like, I call her my super mod. And I
Oh,
was
yeah.
asking her how to do something today, and she just went and did it for me because, I couldn't get it. So then she, like, messaged me later and she says, "I will send you instructions with photographs on how to
Mm.
do it." I'm like, "Thanks a lot."
Yeah,
So
Lucky
Ben is
Million.
really good with body language, it says. Yeah, body language and has amazing understanding of the DSM-5.
I try.
Cool.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that is the big thing. I'm taking classes in influence and persuasion, and yeah, that was that. I don't know if you heard that. I hope you didn't. When I
Yeah,
when you when I came in. Oh, I'm glad you
I
didn't hear.
didn't
I
hear
hope you
much.
didn't hear the. Yeah, okay, you didn't hear the dangerous part. Okay, that's good.
No, I didn't hear anything. I heard your voice, but I didn't or I heard a
Okay,
voice, but I didn't hear, you know. Aw,
Sam.
Amina. Magic of healing. Himena says, "I started my YouTube channel because Ben
Oh,
encouraged
you're
me."
you are so kind, Jimena.
She is
Yeah,
like one of the most lovely people that I
yeah.
know. Hello, Sue B. Carry on, Janet. Yeah, I keep trying to make sure I catch people. A northern girl.
Y
I'm trying to get down through here. Kind of try to keep up with the chat a little bit.
yeah, Dar, that I do that to keep my fingers loose, otherwise I'm trying to loosen my fingers, the whole out of the vain, incredibly foolish hope it will enable me to type better, but no, we all know where this is going. I'm still gonna make typos. I am the typo
Yeah.
god.
Uh,
Gaze at the marvelous works I perform, ye mighty and despair.
Dancing in the Rain, that's a cool name. Or I've always thought of YouTube channels as entertainment and do not assume that it's true. Under that premise, if I give money, I'll consider it like a Netflix subscription. Well, that's a good
Yeah,
way.
and yeah, and that's one of the things. I mean, like with Aaron Smith Levin, it's understood what you're doing is you're paying to put your name up in lights and just to say, hey, but Aaron,
Mhm.
I like picking on Aaron. I still like picking on Aaron, and I realize there's a whole big controversy, and I'm not asking anybody to change their beliefs based upon anything. No, I just like picking on Aaron. Um,
Yeah.
that, and I wish my head was half as good as his because I'd get rid of this. When this gets any longer, it turns into Bernie Sanders hair. Like, oh
So
my
does my
gosh,
husband's. So
oh,
does
I
my
hate that.
husband.
Like, well, think of it. You could look like Einstein. Oh,
Yeah.
like, no, nobody's gonna buy it.
Uh,
This is Einstein. No.
yeah. Hold on just a second. We
Oh
have
yes.
Barbie MO4. I think the people that were there for Brett are still there, but the people that were there for the chat and the support we gave them have left. I agree.
Yeah. And that was one thing that I found even when, and I think that's part of the reason why I stayed so long, and I believe I even touched on that.
Mhm.
Even after it's like, no, I can't do this, I still stayed because there was a lot of good going on in that chat, and that's one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
points Misha keeps bringing out is she keeps saying, "We are the boat," because it was that interaction with other people. "Hey,
Mhm.
you've gone
I
through this."
agree.
So have I. This is what's worked for me.
Mhm.
How do you like it? What do you think? And yeah, that kind of interaction, is yeah, the risk of that is I wish I could shave my head, but unfortunately my head's very lumpy, so I can't do it. No.
Mhm.
So after
Well,
this,
I was
yeah,
bald for
I'm
2 years, lumpy or not. I was completely bald for 2 years. Actually, I've been bald about 4 years, not all at once, but about a year and then a year and then 2 years.
well,
So,
this is
just
what
go for it.
this is one thing I found. One of the things I'm taking for neurodevelopment, and I'm not suggesting anybody
Mhm.
take this, is methylene blue. But one of the things that helps with, yeah. So yeah, I might get stuck with Bernie Sanders' hair and might not have to worry about the
Yeah.
bald head. Oh, somebody, what was it? Somebody asked if I was a drummer. I don't remember who. Yeah, yeah, and I do that. Yeah, I'll have to try to dress that. I keep my fingers. I think it
Yeah.
was. Um, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with making money on YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
but
either. I don't either.
understand. I'm just for me. This YouTube thing is just an experiment. It's just a way to connect with people and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't see it as me as it ever being a way of income for me
Mhm.
because I'm happy with my job. I make enough there that it would take a lot of subs, and it's like
Oh,
take
yeah.
people who can grow a channel. Wow, I mean, I'm
Yeah, wow.
impressed.
Mhm.
That takes a lot, and it's something that I don't have. But yeah, my YouTube channel is something that a couple of my mentors and you in for better or worse, a couple of my mentors watch from time to time. In a couple of my
Mhm.
mentors in body language, and these people are. I wish I could attain half of their knowledge, and I mean these people are. And I don't want to mention any. I mean, although I
Yeah.
probably could, and they've probably seen worse. Worse comments than anything I can produce. The collateral damage done to people who sought advice for family members of themselves going through
Mhm.
addiction or sobriety program. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a tough. Yeah, that's a tough one. And yeah, well, yeah, I won't
And
say
this one,
anything more about that.
do you think that Reese still thinks like a Scientologist?
Yeah, I do.
I do too.
And then that was a lot of what I turned to my friends
And
with.
that may
So
be
people,
completely natural. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. I mean, it is a
well,
bad thing, but I don't mean that as a slam. I'm
yeah,
not trying to
and yeah,
I
and I mean, yeah, and this is something that you spent. Although there's some debate, I'm staying out of that, about when she was
yeah,
in, fine.
yeah.
But
But
still,
still.
you spend the early part of your formative years in there, you're going to
Mhm.
default to that to some level. Now, how much so, you know, it's just natural, I guess is what I'm saying.
Marilee
And you
says,
even
"Okay, do you all hear a bird?" Yes, you hear a
yeah,
bird.
yeah, I'm Scott Ra
I don't even
one of
hear it anymore because I don't have one now, but I've had birds so much that it's like whenever I hear them, it just feels like home.
yeah, my bird's a complete narcissist too. And
I think they all
yeah,
are. I really
yeah.
do. They're little shits. I mean,
Yeah, do you remember yeah,
oh,
this one that Looking Glass. Oh my god, do you remember when Ben was speaking in the voice of Darth Vader? Scared me pretty bad. Oh my gosh, I had this stupid voice changer I downloaded. I thought this would be a fun little toy to play with.
mhm.
Kind of play with it a little bit. Okay, set it aside. The stupid thing would kick on, and it's not like it's on your desktop or anything. It's in your little taskbar. It would just kick on, and it's like, and I'm going on and on. And this introduction is like, no, if I can get this much out, I'll be fine. It's kind of like when you're singing a song, like, oh crap, okay, all I gotta do is get the first phrase out, and the rest will come. It's like, don't
Yeah,
interrupt me, don't interrupt me. So I'm just going
yeah.
on and on and on. My chat's like, man, something's wrong with your audio. Yeah, and you can be rest assured, yes, my mentor saw that one. Of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
because
Of
yeah, because of
course.
course they did.
Of course.
Of course they got a good laugh out of it too. So yeah.
Oh. Amanda says, if you knew the amount of people who went after me, criticized me, asked me to unalive myself, wished me the most horrible. I'm about to cry. I can't. It's
Yeah, yeah,
awful.
that's yeah, that's a special kind of evil, and yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm not even
every
gonna. That's on them.
yeah, 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 that's just hideous, and yeah, there's some pressure on YouTube to adjust some policies, and I hope they do.
I do
That's all I'm
too.
gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Mhm. Let's see here.
I
I'm
was
trying to.
late
If
and
I see
come.
somebody that's really okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, God, no, I was just babbling.
Oh, okay. Bonnie Lucas says, I always had a problem with Tommy having a recovery channel while he was only abstinent from hard drugs. I'm a sober, I can't talk, sorry.
Yeah,
Sober person for over 40 years with AA. To me, sobriety means abstinence from all substance.
yeah. Knife, I think it's Knife Order. I don't know who the original poster was. It may have been Knife Order. Posted a
Mhm.
video that the first show in the boat, and it's like, I won't go into it, but yeah, it come on, you can do better than that. I know you can. Yeah, but I'll just
Yeah. Hmm.
and that's the thing. I don't want to see, I don't want to see anybody. I don't even want to see them fail. I want to see them succeed,
Yeah.
but in the right way.
In the right way, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Here's another question. I'm
Oh,
I'm
do it.
honestly, if I see questions, I'm trying to make sure I get them. Once a witness says, "Ben, do you think that Reese has it in her to fair game all of you?"
I know.
Oh,
Um,
I
but
do.
but yeah, I have some I have some friends that no, this is not a threat of physical violence.
Yeah.
I want to be first and foremost about that. But yeah, part of the community, I have a couple of friends that one of them is a statement analysis person. No, this is not
Mhm.
behavior panel. He has a pretty big channel, and yeah, you want to go there?
Mhm.
Yeah, and my like I said, my channel, small little experiment. But we can certainly do that. But I really hope it doesn't go to that. If I don't want to
Mhm.
do it, and I don't think, yeah, it's just stop already. Come on, it's
Yeah. Healing through song with John, which is Hockeytown John. None of us have ever hated her. We only want her to be honest and stop
yeah,
taking advantage of people.
yeah,
That's what I said to the lady that messaged me, and I hope that she understands that I was being completely honest. I mean, you know, and I said, "Thank you for your question, and thank you for being, pretty nice about it." She wasn't like, "You blah, blah,"
mm,
she took the time to have a nice question, but she was just
yeah.
so far off because it's like, but who's feeding her that stuff? I think we know. Mm,
Well, yeah, yeah, we've all every well, I bet probably 90% of the chat. Well, maybe I'm off, but I bet a good portion of the chat has probably come out of one or both of these, communities.
mhm,
And we've all had to go through whatever, disbelief, or even if you weren't, that big into them, it's still just at some
mhm.
point nothing else. It's a huge disappointment. And
Yeah,
you know if you were in there for a year or so, it's like you think you have
yeah,
a bit of a rapport with this person, 'cause, we talk to them in chat. But I also realize that it's very easy. Our mask, everybody wears a mask. That is
mhm,
something. But some masks are thicker than others, but it's very easy to keep a mask up for 2 hours on YouTube. Very easy.
mhm.
It's just
Oh,
much
yeah.
easier just to try to drop as much you can and just be you. You know what? Faults and
Yeah.
all. It's like, but and Yeah. So
Jennifer, yeah, I thought we were friends on Facebook, but I was like, "Oh, the minute that I say, 'Yeah, we're friends on Facebook,' just message me." Then you're gonna be like, "We are not friends," but okay. But I thought we were. So, anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
the biggest courage I had was asking for help and being honest with my doctors. Hard work has gone into it for sure. Oh yeah. And that's something
Mhm.
else. That confidence, that was something I had. Oh, I had
Yeah.
less confidence than anybody here. I would guarantee it. And that was one of the things I went. One of the reasons why I started working at the behavioral research place was that one of their products, and no, it's not a drug. One
Mhm.
of their products, which is mainly teaching and a little bit of hypnosis, it
Yeah.
helped me greatly. It's like it was a game changer for me. So much so I was honestly considering buying some and giving them away. I mean, they're expensive though, but
Mm,
yeah, it's
yeah.
worth it. Jen Murray, Ben, Jen.
Girl in the dark
Oh,
says, "Love your face, friend." Mm. You got lots of admirers. How did I did not realize
well, they
the
they
You've
they
brought an
realize.
entourage.
Well,
Go ahead
no,
and hit
no,
that subscribe.
they just realize the typo skills I've had, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Ben, please show us how to commit typos as well as you." Like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
like,
Hey, Sammy's here too. Says he's so
yeah, I
late.
noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah, now this is content, he says.
Oh, come,
Oh,
killing me,
I love
Sam,
Sammy.
killing me. Yeah,
Sammy is just I don't know what it is, but I honestly like, Sammy is just like a brother to me. It feels
mhm,
very like, sibling, and I feel the same way about Knife Order. I always
mm,
tell him, I go, "Listen, I'm the older sister, you behave. I will
mm. Well,
I
yeah,
will
and
get you in trouble."
for the longest time, knife orders. Well, like I said, I tried, and I think I apologized to him. I'm pretty sure I did. I don't know if he saw it, but
Yeah, you probably did. He
like
reads
I said,
everything.
well, I apologized to him in another chat, and he probably, you um, but yeah, for the longest time, I would just go in there and, all right, you want to go at it? Come on, let's go at it. And yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. It may have been somebody else's channel, but I found the position of operating from the position of anger, like, there's something else here. I mean, come on, there's a lot. Dude, you're being
Yeah.
too hateful. And now I
That's what
realize,
I
well, he had his value system violated. That
Yeah.
it's this
Yeah.
kind of thing, like where, well, why should you be able to lie in such a way and take advantage of people? Yeah, that's going to cause anger. It'll cause anger in most
Mhm.
people, and
Mhm.
it's very hard to operate in anything other than that. And
Mhm.
so I get
Absolutely.
it. I get it. It's not just
Lockamillion
the way I
says
prefer to be, but Lucky
Lockamillion
Million.
says, "Ben, how do you feel Spanx fits into all of this? Is he totally under the thumb?"
I don't know. That I
I don't
didn't
either.
expect that one. I thought it was gonna be under influence. And I don't mean no one, not alcohol, drugs, but,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, same
um,
kinda, you know.
yeah, because Tommy's got a very strong personality. He's very good, even if he may not necessarily know how. I think he's got a good basic understanding of how influence works.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I think Spanx has a lot of unpacking to do. Hope I really hope. I mean, there are some things that occurred that I cannot be friends with him,
Mhm.
because of some stuff some things that have happened. I still hope the best for him. I still
I do
hope that,
too.
because he I've seen him have such a kind soul,
Mhm.
and, but at the same time, I've seen him, yeah, I don't know if I
Mhm.
even wanna say it, but no, I won't even go into that story.
He came in my chat one time. I was like, "Whoa." He was not nice.
Yeah, yeah, and
I was like,
there
"And
was
I like you." You know?
yeah, yeah, and there was there's multiple things at which, when you go to other people leave your community and yet you're going to their private Facebook pages, you're such a hater.
Mhm.
Ah, how is that supposed to look? Is that supposed to convince these people somehow to come back to the channel? Is it what is
Mhm.
that supposed to do? What would Reese do if we were to do that to her? Oh my gosh, it would be the end
Yeah.
of the world. Um, so yeah, come on. And
Yeah.
not that I would blame her. That's the outrage that we feel at this.
Mhm. Aw, thank you, Galen. Gifted 10 but first coffee memberships. Thank you so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Put it into my lung. There we go.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
goodness.
Oh yes. In honor of of Sam, I need to do this.
Yeah.
I'm picking on. I've done worse,
You
Sam.
have to, like, really, express yourself, and he's just, like, so excited about what he's talking about, and I'm like, "I can't hear you."
Do I think he's
Oh, Sam.
totally under his thumb? I don't know about now. I know at first,
Mhm.
probably because he's taken out of his native environment, out of what he's used to, brought here, no job, no car. You're depending upon this person for your well-being.
Mhm.
Now I think he has a job. I hope he does. I believe he does, and I hope he's doing well.
So Kathleen Leary says, "What percentage of men do you think still follow him?" I know a lot of women do.
I think it's like 86% of women. I
Man,
think it's that high.
wow.
I couldn't be wrong, but yeah, it's somewhere up there. It's less than a quarter are ever guys.
That is so crazy. I wouldn't think it would be that much.
Well, you see the same in true crime. In true crime,
Yeah.
I understand it.
I
Women are
understand. Women are obsessed with true crime.
well, and
We are
not
obsessed with it.
yeah, not, and I don't mean to get any type of stereotype. 85%. Okay, thank you. After, um, but also with women, what you have going on is they're kind of the nurturers. The men are the hunters. The
Yeah.
women are responsible for safety of little ones. So it's instilled upon them to be, to watch out for the
Mhm.
narcissist. I mean, no, we don't, even though our ancestors didn't know what that was. Um, we're talking distant ancestors. But yeah, you had to watch these kind of behaviors. And what's interesting is in tribal mentalities, narcissists wouldn't last long. They really
Yeah.
wouldn't. It's only a fairly recent thing, and that they can hide in this because they typically don't work well in small groups. Small groups typically kick them out, but it's a thing with modern society where they've been able to put themselves out there, amass
Mhm.
followers, and then they're like, yeah. But and
Yeah,
a
he's
lot of people think there's so many narcissists out there. It's like no, the amount. Well, it may be going up, but also the thing that's working against us that gives us that perception is a media like YouTube,
Yes,
where you can
absolutely.
produce
Because everybody has a voice
attract
and
more. Yeah, yeah. So it may appear
yeah.
like a hot spot.
Jimena says, "I'm very proud and happy to be able to call Ben my friend. He has been one of the few people who hasn't turned on me or shown true colors." She is so sweet. Are you gonna cry? She's making us
I'm
both cry. Mm, Jimena, you are something else. We
and
love
that is one thing I'm thankful for of all this. So the friends I have from going through this, the friends I've gained, um, cosmic, indigo. I could go on, Jen, and that
you.
the only
Mhm.
reason why I'm saying those is because they're the ones on the screen at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I've learned so much from these people, and
Mhm.
it's truly a gift. Every time you meet somebody new, you can feel your universe expand a little, and
You
it's like,
can.
wow. And
Mhm.
they bring so many different ways of thinking. And I've had this is the thing I like about the tribe whatever you want to call it, boat, whatever model is. Earlier, I was going through a point of disappointment, so much so I was having problems in wording well. I was able to turn to um, Indigo, to Christie,
Mhm.
to Jimena, and their insight really helped me a lot. And that's
Mhm.
because we have our problems, we're inside of them. We don't, to us, it's reality because it's within us. Other people can be really, really, they don't have to
Mhm.
be skilled, although the people I named are. Um, just having an outside perspective can really be a life changer when you're going through a hard time. Yeah.
Hmm. They're singing songs, Karma Chameleon and the deal in the chat. They're singing.
Huh.
They're it's like they're I don't know if we've been on too long, if they're getting, like, rum dum kinda deal, if they're just
Mm.
like, I don't think so. Awakened by
I
the
s-
Looking Glass says, "He lived much of his young life wishing his dad would be there for him. It's heartbreaking, but does not excuse his actions towards several of us in our community." That is true. Talking
Thank
about
you.
Spanx. Yeah.
Thank you, Angie Wilson. You're so
Mhm.
kind. Um,
Angie Wilson is a
mm,
very sweet
yeah,
person.
yeah. He's in a tough situation, and
Mhm.
yeah, I don't wish this on him. But yeah, it was
Mhm.
one of the things that one of my friends, well, she's here. Um, Christy sent me was a great speech by Admiral McCraven and ex Navy SEAL, or actually not ex Navy SEAL.
Mhm.
Dude's a badass, and he was talking about how if you want to change the world, if you want to change the world, and start off with making your bed. A lot of people
Yeah.
are laughing at it,
Yeah.
but
No, but I get that.
yeah,
I saw that, and it
yeah,
was
yeah.
very
If you get
good.
home, you've completed one task starting the day, and if you get home,
Mhm.
you've had nothing else has gone right. You still come home to your bed being made, but in that he was talking about how if you want to change the world, you will run into sharks, and
Mhm.
that one person can change the world by simply giving hope. And that I found just to
Yeah.
be, wow, that was a great speech. And the
Oh,
way he was
yeah.
he was talking about the guys in the mud, the SEAL
Mhm.
Bud's class was in the mud, and they were just completely miserable. One of them just started singing incredibly badly, but they all started singing together, and that gave them
Mhm.
hope. And what a powerful
Yeah.
tool that is. And that's one thing when you leave a community like that, you feel like all that's gone out of you. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good to find somebody who can give you hope. Somebody like Christy, somebody like
Mhm.
Magic of Healing. All these channels. I think
Oh,
Carrie also
yeah.
has a channel. Um, I can go up and down the list. And Sam, you know, um,
Yeah.
you know,
Elizabeth says, "I could not stand Marissa
yeah,
when Brett got back together with her. I cringed every time he said, 'There's my fiance Reese. She's in the chat.'"
mm,
I think a lot of people
yeah,
did. I think a lot of people on the boat did not like her at all, and some were very kind to her, but I think
mhm.
some did not like her.
And yeah, yeah, and I find this interesting because, and I'm not throwing shade at anybody, but it's Reese's chat. A lot of them seem to not like when Tommy got introduced. The
Yeah.
lifeboat chat. A lot of them seem to not like it when
Yeah.
it's like they would have.
Exactly.
And I really think Tommy was doing better before the whole Reese thing.
I do too.
Um, I think he was trying to control himself more. No, I could be wrong, but it's
Mhm.
like there was a battle and now it's gone. Yeah, it would have been
Mhm.
better. I just wish they, but you know, but I would
Mhm.
also be completely remiss if I didn't mention that Cosmic Christie has a channel, and her channel is a lot like the way this one channel needing a meeting used to be, where you can go on screen, you can talk about what you're going through with other people and on screen, or you can just sit in the chat. It is a great show, and yeah.
Mhm. Again, I said this earlier, but for those of you that do have channels, big or small, I don't care. go into the comment section after the video and just say something about that, "Hey, I have a channel, come check me out." And then people all they have to do is click your picture and it'll take them straight to your channel, and, I like to help people out that way. I like to get because that's how I find channels that I wanna look at and how I got a lot of my, subscribers was people doing that for me. So,
I think I think
seriously.
Z I think Zaphod Beeblebrox was also in with, Tara's channel. I just didn't remember that name from there. I mean, I've seen him
Mhm.
other places too, but he may remember Tara. What's the point? What was the
It's
point of
oops, oh, I'm
Reese?
sorry.
Oh,
Oh, I missed
Zemet,
did I take
yeah,
it down? Sorry.
Mena
I don't
is a
know where that
predator.
one's
No,
at.
oh, no, no.
Yeah.
No, oh, no, I didn't click anything. I was just reading one of Wolfie's
Yeah.
questions at the bottom. Sorry, I'm going completely out of order.
Oh, yeah.
What is the point of Reese taping Brett and then playing it on her channel? Honestly, I think it was because at that point, that's when you had Alan and Hef producing their stuff, and it's like, yeah, growing up in Scientology hadn't done his thing yet, but and that was gonna fuel Knife Hoarder and FTG and all that. I think she wanted to distance herself from it. But yeah,
I
that
think
is
she likes to have, revenge or not revenge, blackmail stuff, and
yeah,
so I think she was, like, "What can I get so that he
yeah,
won't say anything bad about me?" If nothing
yeah.
else, and then 'cause, it sounds like that he had just broke up with her, and then she recorded him or something, so I don't know, I can't speak, fact onto it, but that's what it sounds like to me. Because, she keeps saying 45 minutes ago, like, you don't wanna have anything to do with me from 45 minutes ago. That made me
Yeah.
think, has he broke up with her at that point? Because she
Oh,
likes to record people.
yeah, yeah, that is and that wow. Um, yeah, I don't understand that, but, again, it could be because of the way she was brought up too. I mean, I try
Mhm.
to keep that in mind, but the thing
Yeah.
is, yeah, to divorce something from its context to shave off the end after you sent it the whole thing to somebody else. What
Yeah.
oh well, I just need to
Yeah.
let drop it. But Lord Kisrick, our Lord, everybody,
Oh, I
please
love Lord
rise.
Kisrink. Yeah, he is so fun. Angie Wilson says, "Aw, Ben, I didn't know you had such a big heart. Usually I'm too busy laughing at your jokes, but it's so sweet to see the love in your heart as well. I love this getting to know segments." I do too. I love these getting to know people segments. It's my favorite thing that I do on this channel. And that's part of my rebranding is that, I can get a chance to do more of that and not have to worry about does this person have any kind of a connection to, a control group or, Scientology or any other control group. I just want to know people. I
Yeah,
just want to know them and still cover Scientology.
yeah.
So,
Well, and Waken did a really fascinating project where she put it together for people during the holiday season, Christmas,
mhm.
New Year's, where she tried to get channels on at any given point for just to create a community that was 24 hours in case of anybody you know this, why am I telling you this? But I guess
Yeah,
I'm just telling the chat
yeah.
that
No, you're telling it's fine.
Awaken really did put a lot of work into that. It was truly a labor of love for her. I think she's
Mm.
probably burned out now, but yeah, it was really you know,
Mhm.
I
Oh,
wouldn't blame her if she's
this is
burned
so
out.
true. Carry on
Yeah,
says, "Ben, if we don't have hope, we don't have anything."
yeah.
Yeah. I like this too, I did too. I love Admiral McRaven and Simon Sinek. Yeah,
Oh,
I
oh,
I
Christy,
actually
Simon Sinek, you heard of him? Sorry, that's an old joke.
yeah,
Yeah,
I,
I
I
I mentioned at one point a video of Simon Sinek to Christy, and I barely know anything about him, and oh no, she mentioned a video. It's like, oh, you've heard of him, and I know this much about him. It turns out Christy's like
yeah.
one of his fangirls. Yeah, like, oh yeah, I've got all the stuff on it.
Yeah, she's okay on here. Jennifer saying, "Yes, please do." She's talking about putting the name,
mm,
your information. You don't even have to put your information, just say, "Hey, I've got a channel," then click your picture.
yeah,
But she's wanting the
be
name of your channel.
yeah, oh, okay, mine, yeah, it's just been bacon bits.
Yeah.
I think it's the only thing that'll come up. Um, but yeah, I'm whatever I produce next, it's not gonna be on Reese. We'll see where it
Yeah.
goes from there. How much how many artillery shells get dropped, and then, yeah, okay, fine, we can, start getting in.
Mhm.
No, I'm not going to predict where things are gonna go, but, we'll just see. We're
I'm
from there.
telling you, you better watch it, they are chasing
Yeah.
you. Why isn't there a whistling emoji?
Oh, oh, Jen, you need to go with Davey to the eye doctor. Um, you may wanna make sure you have insurance that goes way into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, because yeah, you need some serious treatment. Um, yeah.
Mm. I'm always so excited, I don't know why, but I am always so excited when Lord Kiss Freak is here. I just get excited. I get excited when everybody's here, but there's some people that I'm like, "Oh, cool," you know? Uh,
Mm. I forgot about that show, Narcissus. Oh, that was with you that we did that. Okay. Hema. Okay.
Conversations with Christy says, "I did an interview with Ben last year called Beyond the Boat. It was such a great interview." Yeah. Yeah, we will. We'll be checking that out. I'm serious. There's a lot of stuff that I wanna check out. Now that I really feel like that since I have kind of rebranded, that I can branch out and start looking
Yeah.
at more stuff, and not be
Yeah.
so, like, focused,
Yeah.
and I will still cover Scientology.
Yeah.
I absolutely will, but I
I
won't feel
encourage
so just,
yeah.
in a hole that I can't dig
Yeah.
out of.
I encourage you in that and trying to find stuff that interests you, that's a passion for you, and
Mhm.
whatever it may be. I mean, yeah, and that's I started out just doing psychology, but lately it's been going more into oddball. I've been doing oddball CIA files, and it's
Yeah.
one of them I even tried out for myself, and I got a result I did not expect out
Oh,
of that.
wow.
Um,
Barbie MO4 says, "I think Ben's narcissistic bird should make a special appearance live on the screen in the near future. Let's see the
Scott,
face behind the tweets."
one of the people I highly admire, Scott Rouse. The bird was, of course, going off because I go live. He's like, ah, somebody like has to
Yeah.
chatter. It's like, well, break him out. I can't. I really wish I could, but yeah, he's a rescue bird, and he's been in a. He just doesn't like people. He's just like, feed me, human. And well, I still think he's talking to me, and he's hissing at everybody else. I think he's yeah. But
Aw.
then repeat
Well,
after me. I am the silver fox, and I own it. Uh,
Wolfie says, "I was subscribed to Reese until recently. I wanted to give her the benefit of the
mm,
doubt, but
yeah.
after hearing Sam and everyone bringing truth out, I unsubscribed." It's
Well,
rough,
yeah.
isn't it, Wolfie? It's hard. It's
Mm.
hard.
And that's one of the things. Any healthy community, the host should at least be willing to accept a counter argument. And if anybody says, "Whoa, you got this way wrong on gateway process," or I don't know, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's okay, cool. Maybe we can make a show about that, to a correction, like, hey, here's an angle I haven't thought of. But when you have a community that's come up a couple times, and I'm not necessarily talking about Reese. That's come up a couple times with a couple other leaders in these two channels, where it's
Mhm.
apparent they can't even take you give well, how do I say this? You give a narcissist a slight constructive criticism. It's the itty bitty one. You'll get back, boom. It's like, wait a minute, I just said
Mhm.
this, and that that's
Mhm.
that's a red flag.
Yeah.
That's
Mm. Yeah, it is. It truly is. Well, I have really, really enjoyed this, and I hope that
oh,
you have, and I hope that you'll come back and talk to us again. It doesn't have to be about them.
you know,
I just
no,
like
you're
talking
you're
to you.
you're a great, kind host.
Well, thank you. I
You
try
you
to be.
certainly you're certainly easy. You just kind of let
Mhm.
me babble on, just kind of look at me my little playpen and let me play in the sand. And yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed being here.
I have really enjoyed it. We've been on for almost 2 hours, and it doesn't feel
Wow.
like that at all. Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. I wanna thank you. I do wanna invite you back anytime. When you get something going, you keep me informed so that I'll know, and I'll check your channel out too. And,
Mm,
let's talk about what you're doing in the future because you're absolutely
yeah.
loved, obviously, and I just think you're amazing. I
Mm.
think you're amazing.
Oh,
You're one of my
too
new
kind.
favorite people.
Too kind, but I thank you greatly. Yeah, and I hope I really hope you find a renewed passion.
I
I know you're
am.
looking. So yeah, I hope you're able to you know,
Yeah. That's what I
it's
told
not.
my daughter today. I said, "I feel like I have just really taken a deep breath and, like, I just am, like, excited." When I
Well,
first started my channel, I was excited. I wanted, like, "What
yeah,
can I do? What can I cover?" And
yeah,
then now it was getting to be like, "What can I do? What can I
yeah,
cover?" And that's not fun.
yeah,
And then so
and
this now when I talk about Scientology, it'll be because it's something I want to talk about with
you
Scientology.
know, and stuff like
So
this. I mean, there is value. All of us have gone through this, and there is
mhm,
value to those tapes. And I realize this is painful for the people that I'm not meaning to bring any trauma up, but having that stuff out there can be turned to later on, or can be referenced later on for people to, what makes him. I was asked just a couple days ago, why don't you like him anymore? And I was
mhm.
like, okay, here you go. And it's like,
Have
wait
you
a minute,
been paying attention?
I can direct you to videos. This explains it. You can make your own mind up. If I'm wrong,
Yeah.
let me know.
Mhm. The
I
ones
got
that are
time for
saying that they
nobody.
love Ben's shirt, you can get those on Amazon. So anybody that wants one of those FTG shirts, I've got 2 and I'm wanting another one.
It feels unnaturally to wear this on camera because I almost always wear button up and
Yeah.
tie, but yeah.
Yeah. You look great. I like it. So, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and call this a night if that's okay with everybody. I, uh, I had so much fun. I really did. So, I, do you have any final words, Ben?
Don't give me that. I'll be.
Like, I'll be like, "Click." I'll
d-
be
d-
like mischief, being like, the feet will just go brrr.
Hey, Sam.
Just
Guess what? Hey, Sam, if you're still in the chat,
I think he
disco
is.
sucks.
Is that your final word? Okay, well, guys, we're gonna go over and check out his channel. Y'all go put your channels or information about your channels, whatever, in the chat or in the comments after the live is over with, and I will go and subscribe to you. I promise, and a lot of other people will too, I'm sure. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much, Ben. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will see you tomorrow.